Well, welcome to our continuing education, new student orientation. So thank you so much for taking the next hour and a half to spend with us this evening. So I have some friends and colleagues on the phone, on Zoom here today to say hi to you. And we're going to get started with, I want to introduce to you your admissions counselors. So I'm sure that you guys have talked to them, texted with them, emailed them. They all got you to where you're sitting today. So I want to take a minute so they can say hi to you. So I'm going to start with the first person I see is Amy Reinhold.
Hi, everyone. So I worked with the master's degree students, and I want to say hello. I'm trying to scroll through and look for pictures because I have spoken to you, emailed you, and I have never met any of you in person. So I'm so happy to see you and welcome.
All right, next, Sue. You want to say hello?
Yep, I'm Sue McFeeters. I work with the continuing education population, and yep, it's good to be able to put some faces to the names.
It's a good thing. If you guys have access to turning on your videos, we would love to see your faces. So please definitely turn them on today. Next, I have Donnie.
Hi, everybody. Happy you could make it.
I also have Carol.
Hi, everybody. I'm the counselor at the Lancaster Center, and I see Miss Mary Bird. Hi, Mary. Welcome, everybody else. It's great to see everybody.
I also have Candace with us.
Hello, everyone. I am also a continuing education counselor here as well, and would like to welcome you all to Central Penn.
All right, and last but not least, we have our admissions director, Scott. Do you want to say hello?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. So glad that you're here. Hopefully you get lots of great information today and you're ready to roll with classes starting next week.
All right, and now all the other smiling faces you see on here, you'll be meeting throughout the rest of the presentation tonight. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lisa Seifert. I'm the Director of Recruitment here. So you've probably got many emails from me inviting you to this event. You may have even talked to me along the way. So we're excited that you're here. I just want to give you a brief overview. Today, you're actually going to hear from our Dean of the School of Continuing Education, and then about living the nightlife, about being a student here on campus. We're also here from our student success panel. So you'll hear from lots of different departments on all the resources that are here to help you throughout the time. And then we'll do questions and answers. So if you have any questions as we are talking today, please open up your chat window and enter them in there. And then we will get to all of them at the end. And then we will do breakout sessions where we'll be talking about ordering books, scheduling classes, how to navigate Blackboard, and financial aid questions as well. So it's just a brief overview here, but I am going to get started and let Karen Hurst, who is our Dean of the School of Continuing Education, and she's going to take it away and talk with you guys about being here at Central Penn.
Thanks, Lisa. Hello, everybody. It is so great. I just love that so many of you have your cameras on. And as you were coming in, it was actually like you were walking into a classroom or an auditorium, you know, because the pictures just keep flying in. It was just great. I know that would have been better to have us all together maybe, but maybe some of you couldn't have made it then. I think we have a nice large group here and I'm so excited to meet you all. I'm Karen Hurst, as Lisa said. I'm the Dean of Continuing Education here at Central Penn College. The School of Continuing Education houses the program certificates, some corporate education, but best of all for me, it has been created to help and serve students just like you, the continuing education students. Each of you come to this point in your life from a different path. I'm sure that all of you have responsibilities outside of school, work, life, family. This can be really challenging. And as you start to add college into the mix, it can really add to that. And so I would say it might be really challenging, but I think I'll change it and say it will be. You will have some challenges because you will have some time commitment things and different things, but it is worth it. Hang in there. We're here to help you. You are Central Penn. I want you to know that 78% of the student body at Central Penn College are continuing ed students. So you matter to us. You are exactly who our student body is. And when you have struggles, we want to know about it. So please reach out. All the pictures that you see that aren't students right now, we all want your success. I think that I feel so strongly about continuing ed because I was a continuing ed student. I got married before I finished college, and it was back a long time ago when that was kind of the norm. And my husband and I moved from job to job as we changed cities. We had a couple of kids, 3 of them, and I went to school at lots of different colleges. As we moved, I would take a class here and a class there. Then when my youngest was in high school, I finished my bachelor's degree. And then as she was getting married and being launched, I finished my master's degree, and I was launching myself at that point as well. So I understand what those struggles are. I had the unique opportunity of having my sister in California go back to school about the same time I did, and she became an RN. So we would share stories, and we were each other's support group. It's so important to have someone that understands your struggles. I hope that you fill your life with those that are pulling for you and doing what you need at this moment in your life. Things might get a little tough and you'll need somebody to lean on perhaps, and just explain how super tired you are and have them understand what that means. Just about the academic portion of this, next week, classes start. Monday morning, if you have an online class, it will start. So this is week 0, we call it. Because you can see your classes on my Blackboard. You can actually see those classes listed. You can go into them. There won't be any coursework, but you can kind of make sure that they're there. You can navigate, and that's really awesome. We started doing that probably almost a year ago, and I think that it's really great. If you don't see your classes there, this is the week to tell us, right? Because we need to do something about it. So you should be able to go into my Blackboard and see your courses listed and go into your course. There's not going to be anything that you need to do this week. And I see a question pop up from Chris, and I'm just going to answer it right off. No, the coursework does not open until next week. After that, you can ask your individual professors if you need to work ahead a little bit because you're maybe going out of town or have a life event. You can talk to your individual professors, but courses do not open for coursework until next week. If you have an online class, I just want you to know it's going to be online the entire term. You will not have times when you have to meet at a specific time in any of the online classes. So some students think that because their professor says, I'm available on Wednesday nights, that they have to tune in. You don't. If it's an online class, those are always optional. Daytime and evening class, you'll attend here at Summerdale, and love to see you. I can't wait. If you get a chance to stop by my office, I'm in the large building, ATEC, room 203. Just walk in the door and yell my name and I will find you. Because I love to meet students and find out what makes you a Central Penn student. What brought you here? Are you having to change your career? Did you just postpone college and are coming back? Are you transferring in? Do you want to have a different, complete different dream of your life? Whatever it is. If you can stay focused on that dream to make a better life for yourself in some way, it will help you to overcome the difficulties of being tired sometimes, not wanting to get your work done, feeling so overwhelmed. By the way, first 2 weeks, just expect to be very overwhelmed, okay? It's okay, everybody will be. So first 2 weeks, you're gonna go to your classes or you're gonna look at your classes online and they're gonna tell you every single assignment that is due for the entire term. We can't help it. We're just professors. That's just what we do. But you know that you don't have to do all of it right away. So accept everything that everybody hands you and then just start working away at it one thing at a time. I've been a professor here. I teach math for about 7 years. And I want you to know that professors love questions from you. We love it, especially in the first part of the term. If you are having difficulty, let us know. Sometimes we can just do a small shift, a little course correction that sets you up for success for the rest of the term. If you don't say anything, we don't know how to help you. We really want to. We want you to be successful. You have lots of responsibilities on your plate. You may be here to help fulfill some of those responsibilities better. Keep your goals and your purpose in your mind, and remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck on this great adventure and your own personal education journey. I hope to see you on campus. Come find me. I think that was some kind of ad, right? Anyway, back to you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. If you guys have any questions for Karen, please put them in the chat. And then I know she answered one along the way, but if you have more, just put them there and we will get to them. Next, I'm going to introduce you to our student services panel. So first up, we have Janet Bixler, who is the director of your first year experience. So Janet, could you tell them a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. Hello, newest Knights. It's great to meet you. I am the director of the first year experience, and first year experience at Central Penn College works as an anchor. So as Dean Hurst mentioned, when you have struggles or need to talk or are unsure of how to get your question answered, you can always reach out to me because that's my purpose. My name is right there by my picture. And just to let you know, what you might have already figured out, if you want to reach a staff or faculty member, it's our first name, last name, and at centralpenn.edu. So Janet Bixler at centralpenn.edu. I work with the first, second, and third term students. I provide a variety of resources that aid the student in their academic success. So I host activities that promote a sense of belonging and connection between you and your peers, professors, campus staff, and the surrounding community. A favorite activity is Nights at the Round Table, where our newest Knights have the opportunity to engage in an informal chat with the president of Central Penn College, Dr. Linda Fedrizzi Williams. And we do this event in the afternoon and in the evening, and we do it in person and at the same time on Zoom. So even if you're a completely online student or cannot get to campus, you can still attend. The students can ask the president anything. This past term, the questions ranged from, if you could live in any era, what would it be? And describe how stressful it is to be the president of Central Penn College. We had a big attendance at both events last term, and every student asked a question. The students left having a better understanding of two things. One, the real person behind the title of president of the college, and two, how easily accessible our president is. And she has a phenomenal story, a lot like what Dean Hurst alluded to, what her story is. I also facilitate workshops and activities where students create tangible tools for their success toolbox. So this past term, the students were assessing their study habits and study style, creating smart study goals, and aligning their goal with brain power strategy. So sorry. At CPC, the first year experience program makes you feel connected and prepared to earn your degree in a field you are passionate about. And like Dean Hurst mentioned, please come and visit me if you're on campus. I'm located in the underground, which is the building across the bridge, down the path. It's a big label on the building, the underground. And I am there by the student lounge. And hopefully I will see you in your classes, either online or in person. And I hope to see you at some events. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Janet. I am going to introduce you next to Caitlin Kopis, and she is our Director of Advising, and she's going to be covering the Advising Center and our Learning Center as well today.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. So I'm going to start with talking about my office, the Advising Center. The Student Success and Advising Center is here to support you from enrollment to graduation. We're here to assist you with degree planning, discovering and growing your strengths, and helping you navigate the college experience. There are 3 student success coaches at Central Penn. There's Dan, who works out of our Summerdale office and also supports many of our online students. Michelle, who works out of the Lancaster Center and also supports many of our online students. And me, I'm in the Summerdale office as well. But again, we all work with our online population as well. So how do you know who your advisor is? Advisors are not assigned yet, so you can't currently see who your advisor is, but your advisor will be assigned the end of this week, maybe this weekend. We'll see how my week goes, but definitely going into the start of classes next week. So to see your advisor's name starting next week, you can log into the student portal and look in the top right corner in the box that says advisor, and you will see your advisor's name there. Now, our office, the Student Success and Advising Center, we serve as the primary advisors to students who are majoring in accounting, anything business related, criminal justice or homeland security management, and anything IT related. We're also here to support all of our other undergraduate students though. So students who are majoring in communications, paralegal or legal studies, and anything in the School of Health Sciences like medical assisting. So students in those programs do have a primary advisor in their major. And then we're also here to provide a secondary level of support. So those of you who are in our master's degree program, you will also have an advisor assigned to you in the master's degree program. We're happy to help if we can, but you're probably going to want to talk to your master's degree advisor to start with for most of your questions. So when should you reach out to advising? Some people I know, if you're hearing about advising for the first time, especially if this is your first time in college, you might not be quite sure when would be a good time to reach out to our office and what we do. So here are a couple of examples. If you're getting started and you're thinking, you know, I like the classes in my program, but I'm not 100% sure this is what I expected. Is this the right major for me? Reach out to us. We'd be happy to talk to you about what majors we offer at Central Penn and help explore that with you. If you get to a point where you're feeling a little overwhelmed with your classes, or maybe you've fallen a little bit behind in one of your classes, and you just want to talk about what are my options? Where should I go from here? We can absolutely help you navigate figuring out what your next steps might be and what options you might have. If you need help with selecting and registering for courses, or basically if you just have a question about any part of your Central Penn journey and you're not quite sure who to talk to, please always reach out to us. We are happy to help, whether it's day one, whether it's, you know, you're about to graduate and you had a question come up for the first time, we're always happy to hear from you. And you will hear from us as well all the time. We reach out almost every week via your Central Penn email with all kinds of reminders about things like course registration, midterms, finals. We'll let you know when we're holding programs. We'll send out tips for success. And we just send out some messages to encourage you. You know, we know sometimes being a student, you got a lot on your plate, and we just want to remind you that you're awesome and that you can do this. Now, what can you do? Classes are starting next week, and you might be thinking, like, what are some of the things I can do to set myself up for success? So I will start by telling you, please stay in touch. Set up your Central Penn email on your phone. You'll be hearing from all of us at Central Penn via your Central Penn email account. So if you can get it set up on your phone and check it often, that is great. If you're not sure how to set up your Central Penn email account on your phone, I'm going to direct you to this amazing resource we have called the Survival Guide. If you log into Blackboard, which you'll be hearing a little bit more about, you can go to the Student Resources tab and access the Survival Guide, and there is all sorts of amazing information in there, including how to set up your Central Penn email account on your phone. Check your schedule now so you can see what classes you're going to be taking and reach out if you have questions about that, or pop into the breakout room later if you have questions. Order your books. It is really important to have textbooks, and there's also a breakout session later that you can ask questions about that too. And just get yourself organized and ready for the start of classes. Some of the things you can think about now are, do you have a space where you'll be able to do your schoolwork? Do you have specific hours set aside when you're ready to do your schoolwork? Do you have your computer? If you're a paper person, you know, do you have the notebooks and folders and pens and things like that you might want? These are the kind of things that are really awesome to think about now, the week before classes start. So those are my suggestions from advising. So now I'm also talking about the Learning Center. So the Learning Center provides free academic support and tutoring for all Central Penn students. Their primary areas of support are writing, math, anatomy, and study skills, but they can provide support in almost anything, especially if you're coming in as a first-time student. But even if it's just been a little while since you've been in school and you've not quite sure how to navigate an assignment, reach out to the Learning Center. They can help you understand your professor's expectations for your work, or even if you just need help figuring out, how do I put this assignment into Blackboard? How do I format it correctly? Those are things the Learning Center is amazing with. So regardless of what the course is, they can help you with all kinds of things. They offer daytime hours in person at Summerdale, and they also offer virtual support in the evening and weekends. So they have support throughout the day, regardless of what your schedule is. And there are a variety of tutors who are ready and excited to help, including both student tutors and professional tutors of all different ages from a variety of backgrounds, to make sure that everyone has someone that they're going to feel comfortable connecting with at the Learning Center. 2 other notes that I wanted to pass along to you from our Learning Center director, Megan Ream. I don't think I said her name yet, but she's amazing. Hopefully you'll get to know her well. Math Boot Camp is a really, really great thing that she has put together that is available for students who need to brush up on their algebra skills. Maybe you've taken algebra, but it's been a little while and you're getting ready to take a placement test, or you're getting ready to take college algebra for the first time. This is a self-paced course through Blackboard that can prepare you for either the placement test or college level algebra if you've already placed into that. So email learningcenter@centralpenn.edu to enroll in that. Also, Blackboard orientation. So if you log into your Blackboard now, most of you can access Blackboard orientation, and that is run by Megan Ream. So you will see her picture so you know what she looks like. And it is a great way to get used to navigating Blackboard now, practice submitting assignments so that you can feel comfortable with Blackboard before you have any graded assignments that are going to be due next week. So on behalf of the Learning Center and the Advising Center, we are excited for you to start. Have a great spring term and reach out to either of our offices anytime.
Thank you, Caitlin. Next up, we actually have our Dean of Student Engagement. Miss Adrian is here with us.
Hello, everybody. How are you? First of all, let me say welcome to the family. We are super excited to welcome you to our Night Nation here. I love seeing your faces. Thank you, all of you who have your videos on. It's great to see you. And I truly cannot wait to meet all of you in person or at some of our events and activities. I have one favor. Can you help me out for a second? If you could, in the chat, tell me one hobby that you have, one super interest, something unique that you do, one hobby or your favorite thing. Let me know in the chat, and I want to see that chat just start going. Like we're in a casino and we get a jackpot. Oh, good. Okay, good. Janet, we have singers. Do you see that? Photography, reading. Okay, so I love, keep them coming, keep them coming. I love seeing all of these things because it helps us. My job as Dean of Student Engagement is to help to connect you to things outside of the classroom to help to support your experience here as a Central Penn Night. So whether that's our Cooking with CPC series, where they do virtual lessons on how to cook very unique recipes. I saw the cooking on there. Whether it's a local hike with a group of students on a Saturday, all kinds of different things, but we try to give you ways to connect outside of the classroom. Believe it or not, studies actually show that it helps you to get better grades. So if you're thinking, and I know, I saw all of your faces when Dean Hurst said about those other commitments that we all have, the family and the jobs, and I saw all the heads, oh yes, I understand that. So we really do try to make them as convenient as possible for you to squeeze into the little parts of the little cracks of free time that you have available. We do virtual programming. We have virtual fitness classes. So you can take 30 minutes, 45 minutes, get a little fitness class, de-stress a little bit. We have in-person events. We have opportunities, leadership retreats, guest speakers, all kinds of different things. And I will extend, I'm going to put my email in the chat to all of you. If you have, I'm loving all the ideas that we've already seen in the chat, but I would love to have you reach out and share anything that you might be interested in doing with the college, because we're a small school and that's a great thing, because then that makes your voice even louder. And we really want to plan things that you're enjoying If you have families, we plan things that your families can participate in as well. So if you have any input, please send it my way. And if there's anything I can do, even if it's not events related, if there's anything I can do to support your journey here as a Central Penn Knight, please reach out. Even if it has nothing to do with activities, okay? We want to make sure that you are getting the resources that you need as part of our family. So thank you, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Adrienne. All right, next up we have Kim Bateman, who is our LMS administrator. She's going to talk to you a little bit more about Blackboard.
Hey, welcome everyone. I actually have a presentation to share with you, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so I am Kim Bateman. I am the LMS administrator, and you might wonder what LMS is. That's our learning management system, and our learning management system that we use is Blackboard, which we've heard mentioned already. I'm part of the IT department. So I'd like to welcome you to New Student Orientation, and this is just going to be an overview of some of the technology that we have available at the college. There's a lot of detail in this presentation, so don't get hung up on that as much as just trying to get an idea where the things are that you need to think about, and also where to get help, where the resources are and the people that you can talk to. Because I know you won't remember all of this, but I at least want you to be aware of all of it. So to get started at the college, we recommend that you use Firefox or Chrome as your browser. Edge can also work well whenever you're accessing the software that we use, but please do not use Internet Explorer. If you have an older computer with Internet Explorer, it just does not work with current things. So Firefox or Chrome is best. We have what's called single sign-on. So for you to access the various systems, the one thing you need to remember is my.centralpenn.edu. If you'll go to my.centralpenn.edu, you'll be able to log in. And your login is based on your first name and your last name at mymail.centralpenn.edu. And you'll use whatever password you previously created. Or if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend you do this as soon as possible and that you create your account. And you can do that by going right down here, first time logging in, and you'll see where it says create account. And if you're unsure of the whole process, there's a video. So right here where it says students, if you click, it'll run you through the process. And if you need help at all with getting logged in, the contact information is right over here on the right. So you can get in touch with our help desk and we will step you through the process. So if you haven't done that yet, that's where you need to get started. Get your account set up, get logged in. Once you log in, you're going to see a screen that looks like this, and this has the various applications that you can use. One thing I want to bring to your attention is this CP alert. If there's anything of a critical nature going on at the college, so like if the campus is closed for any reason, if we're going to be opening late, you know, any high level important things like that, you can sign up for CP alert. And CP Alert, you can choose how you want to get notified, and it will let you know about these things that are going on. So be sure that you sign up for CP Alert. Also, you've heard your student email mentioned already. So we have a tile over here for your student email. That's the official way that you communicate with people at the college. So if you start sending things from your personal email account, they may not even make it through filters and different things. So be sure that you're using your official email from the college, and you'll access that over here with the student email tile. Okay, we're going to focus on the tiles in the middle a little bit more. So we'll be looking at Blackboard, Office 365, and the student portal. As a student at the college, you have access to Microsoft Office. It's free to use. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy Microsoft Office. If you get an assignment where they're saying you need to do this in PowerPoint or you need to do this in Word, don't freak out about it. You have that access to it is free. All you do is click on that Office 365 tile. And when you come in, you'll be on a screen like this, or even if you're on your email tile. From email, you can click on what's called the waffle up here in the top left corner. And when you click on that, you'll see that you have access to the various Microsoft apps. Now, if you click on them from here or from over here on the Office 365 tile, those are the web versions of the software. So these are absolutely fine to use. Just be aware that they have fewer features than if you actually install Microsoft on your computer. You can install Microsoft on up to 5 different devices. And you do that by coming over here to this Install Office button. And this is on the Office 365 panel. So if you're in your email, you just click on the waffle and then Office 365, or just click on the Office 365 tile and it takes you to this page. I highly recommend that you do that too. So get Office all set up and ready to go so that when you get assignments, you don't have to worry about it. It's already taken care of. Before we move on from here, look at the note up here about you get 1 terabyte of storage available with your account. So this is part of your OneDrive. It's cloud storage, great place for you to store things for your classes. You're not going to have to worry about losing your flash drive or, I saved it on a computer in the lab and now when I go back, the computer's rebooted and my file is gone. Just save things to your OneDrive. Doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have access to the internet, you can get to the files on your OneDrive. Student Portal is something that you're going to access from time to time. It's not something you need to get to all the time. But this is where you're going to go to do things like checking your schedule, registering for classes, looking at your midterm and final course grades. You're going to check account and other financial information here. There are various forms here, and there's also a comment box. So again, not something you need to do all the time, but be aware of the kinds of things that you can do here. One of the things you're going to want to do now, if you haven't already, is look at your schedule. So if you go to the Student Portal, and if you come up here and click on My Academics, then you'll see My Class Schedule is one of the options. When you click on that, your schedule is going to display over here on the screen. But just a little tip, this is a little bit more difficult to figure out on the screen. If you come up here to where it has the schedule report and click on this, this is a much more it's an easier to read version of your schedule. Plus it'll pop up so that you can print it out. Okay, that brings us to Blackboard. Blackboard is where you are going to spend a lot of time. This is our learning management system. So it's used for our online, our blended, and our on-ground classes. And no matter what type of class you're using, you'll be using Blackboard for at least something in the class. You'll find things there like the syllabus, which is your contract with your professor about the course. It'll tell you things like what texts you need, what you'll be learning in the course, important things that you'll be doing in the course. So be sure that you check for the syllabus. You'll see announcements throughout the term, your course materials. So there might be videos or journal articles, various things that you need to look at there to learn whatever you're learning in the course. Assignments, discussions, and your grades are going to be there. So this is where we're really going to spend a lot of time while you're taking your courses this term. The courses did open in Blackboard today. So if you're not seeing a course that you expected to see, check that out with someone because they should be showing up there in Blackboard. You'll only see a little bit of the course information though. You'll see your professor information, your start here information, and your syllabus. You also see some announcements, but that's about it for now. Your actual course material will open up next week when the term officially begins on April 5th. Caitlin already mentioned the Blackboard orientation course. So this you should have access to in Blackboard. It should be right there that you can click on it to open, and it's going to tell you how to get started at the college, how to get connected using email and Office 365. You actually have an opportunity to interact with some of the tools in Blackboard. You'll get to practice using a discussion board, doing an assignment, taking a little quiz, and you can check your grades. Now, this is not really officially graded. It doesn't count for anything. It is optional, but I highly recommend it because it will get you very familiar with these things so that when you take your first test, it's not the first time you'll be interacting with that tool. You'll already be familiar with how it works and you can focus on the questions and the content. And here's where you'll find the Blackboard orientation course. So when you go into Blackboard, your page is going to look like this. Over here on the left, you'll have what's called your My Courses module. And part of this is the Blackboard orientation course, which you just click on the link and that should open up the course for you. You'll also see here there's information over on the right, various announcements. So you can always come over here and scroll down and see what kinds of things are going on. And then there's some help information in this middle column. For example, let's say you've done an assignment and you did it on paper and you need to figure out, well, how do I get it from paper into Blackboard, into an electronic format? Well, right here, there's something called using the OneDrive app to scan. This tells you how you can use your phone and the OneDrive app to scan something that's on paper, get it into a file that then you can submit to Blackboard. And that you can look at accessing OneDrive files in Blackboard, and that will tell you how to get things from Blackboard or from OneDrive into Blackboard. So a lot of information here to help you with how to do different things with your courses. Okay, also in Blackboard, you're going to learn about all of these wonderful resources from the various people who are on the panel, but sometimes it's hard to remember all the names and exactly what they told you about, but a lot of that information is available here in Blackboard. So when you go into Blackboard, you'll see across the top here, we have different tabs. So we have My Blackboard, Student Resources, Career Services, the Library, and so on. And then for each of these, we have sub-tabs. For example, when you're on the My Blackboard tab, you might want to click on the notifications dashboard so that you can find different reminders and alerts. Or if you click on student resources, you'll see we have all kinds of things like the welcome, information technology help, college advising, here's the learning center. So any of that information that you want to get back to, you don't have to look at maybe some notes that you've taken quickly this evening. It's all right here for you that you can very easily access it through Blackboard. What I've been talking about so far is Blackboard through a web browser on a computer. We do also have a Blackboard app that you can use. So you can install on your mobile device this free Blackboard app. Do not try to take an entire course using the Blackboard app. It's meant more for keeping up with the calendar, maybe checking some feedback on assignments, looking at maybe a short discussion board that you want to reply to, but it's not meant for trying to do an entire course using a mobile device. You really should have a computer or be able to get to the computer labs on campus to be able to do your courses. But the app is a great way to be able to keep up with things. You've got it right there on your phone, which you always have with you. So I would recommend that you install it. Just a few other tips for you. Log in frequently. You want to try to log in several times a week just to make sure you're catching up and making sure of everything that's going on in the course. Maybe something's changed that you need to know about. So be logging in frequently. If your professor is setting due dates on their assignments, you'll be able to use the calendar in Blackboard, and that will keep you up with what's going on in your different courses, so that you can kind of scope out your weeks and see, you know, what's going on when. Maybe you need to work ahead a little in one course because you've got a paper coming up. So keep up with that kind of thing, and start work early. We have wonderful resources available, but if you wait until the last minute, you're not going to have the time to make use of all those resources. So the sooner you can start on things, the better. And always have a backup plan. Technology is wonderful when it works, but it doesn't always work. So your computer might die, your internet might go out. Make sure that you have some idea what you'll do if that happens. One of the backup plans that you can think about is we have a place called the Night Owl Lab, and that's in the Bollinger Building on the Summerdale campus, and that's available 24/7. So even if at 2 a.m. you need to work on a paper, come on over, the lab's open, you can go in there and continue your work. And be sure that you check grades and feedback. Your professors spend a lot of time giving you that feedback, and it's going to help you to know what you're doing well, what you need to work on so that you can improve as you go through the term. Okay. We also have a Central Penn app, and this keeps you up with things that are going on campus. So in addition to the Blackboard app, I would recommend that you install the Central Penn app on your mobile device. Also right now, while we're going through COVID, We have a pre-screening and a contact tracing app that you use on the mobile app. So when you first get up in the morning and you're getting ready to head into campus, what you should be doing is going in here and completing the pre-screening. So that's right on the home page of the app. So you go in and you do your screening, you answer all the questions, and hopefully you get, this green, you are clear to come to campus. If you don't get this, then you should not come to campus. You should wait until you hear from someone, and then they can work with you to come up with a plan for what you need to do. If you get the all green, then you're going to come up here to the top and you're going to tap and you will scan the QR code for any room that you go into. So if you're going into an office on campus or going into a classroom, if you scan, then we know who's been where when, so that if we need to do notifications, we can take care of that. If you do the scan and you get something like this, then it may be that you just forgot to do your screening and you need to go back and do your screening. Otherwise, you should not be on campus and not be going into a room if it's saying that you haven't, gotten your health pass approved. If everything goes well, your health pass is approved and you scan the QR code, it's going to just show you whatever room you are checked into and you are ready to go. So what's next? You need to be logging into my.centralpenn.edu, set up the CP alert, so be sure you take care of that. Locate your schedule in the student portal. You want to be sure that you have your Central Penn email set up on your phone. You want to download the Central Penn app so you're keeping up with things on campus. You also want to make sure you have Office 365 installed on your computer and work through that Blackboard orientation. That's going to really help you be prepared for next week. And review the orientation in your courses. Remember that you have access to your courses this week, so each course that you go into, you should have this orientation information where you can look at start here, professor information, and your syllabus, in addition to the announcements so that you can learn about what's going on in each class. And as always, remember, you are not alone. We have tons of people here that you're meeting this evening who are ready to work with you and help you. We have IT people who will help you with your technology. And again, if you just go to my.centralpenn.edu, a lot of that contact information is over here on the right. So here's the help desk information, but I also want to make you aware of what's down here at the bottom, different campus offices. And some of our offices now have this feature called Book Online. So for example, if you wanted to book some time with the Learning Center, you could just come to my.centralpenn.edu, come down here to the bottom, click on Book Online, schedule some time either in person or online, and you can meet with the tutors that way. So again, we are here to help you guys out. We want you to succeed. So please take advantage of the resources that are here. Hey, that's all I have for you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, Kim, for all that information. That was amazing. And don't worry, guys, I saw a thing pop up here in the chat asking if we could send you guys the recording of that. You will be getting that here in the next few days, so you can reference back anything that we just went over too.
Yeah, Lisa, I'd be glad to send you the PowerPoint file too if you'd like to share that with students.
Oh, that would be perfect. I'll send that out in the email. Thanks, Kim.
Okay.
All right, and next we have our counseling director, Tom Palmieri, and he is going to talk to you about our counseling department and also the Department of Equity and Multicultural Affairs.
Awesome, thank you, Lisa. Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Palmieri, and like Lisa said, I'm the Director of Counseling Services here at Central Penn, and I'll also be speaking on behalf of my supervisor who couldn't be here tonight, Megan Peterson, who's the Dean of Equity and Multicultural Affairs. So I got a couple of different pockets of information I'm going to share with you. I'm going to start what I do first. So I oversee our Counseling Services office here at Central Penn College. So our office consists of myself, my part-time counselor, John Ashman, who also teaches in the Humanities Department here at Central Penn. So any of you signed up for Section 2 of Sociology Online this term will have him as your faculty. And then Whitney Lehman, who's our current graduate intern from Messiah University. And then midway through this term, we're actually going to be bringing on another staff member as well. So I'm super excited about that. We provide free mental health and substance abuse treatment services to all students at the college, regardless of whether they are housed at Somerdale, Lancaster, or if they are an online student. We are currently providing services physically in person on campus in Somerdale, wearing masks, as well as providing services virtually, either through the phone or through a telehealth platform that functions similar to Zoom. And I anticipate that we're going to continue with those practices as we go in through this term. All of our services are free for students. This is something that the college is a really big advocate for as far as mental health access. College in general is a period of significant transition. This is true of whether you're getting your associates or a certificate or your bachelor's, or for those of you in the master's program, and it affects all parts of your life, and our mental health is also affected by all parts of our life. That's all under normal circumstances, and you are all choosing to continue and further your education during the COVID-19 pandemic. And as someone that started a doctoral program during the same thing, you can do it. It's hard, but it's hard because it's meant to be. And all the folk that you're meeting tonight, our job is literally to help you in any way possible. So my office does that via direct mental health services. All of our services, like I said, are free. Oftentimes when students start at the college, they might transition to working with one of my therapists, because outside of the college, you might be paying a copay of $25, $30, $50 a session. When I was in practice before I got here, I used to bill $120 an hour, and I promise you, like, I am worth it at zero cost to you. There is no exchange of money. You pay tuition, the college pays us. And you're going to be getting the same level of treatment that you would in an outpatient facility. For those of you that might already be in treatment, either in counseling, any sort of substance abuse group treatment, psychiatry, we will also work with your existing providers by signing a release of information. It is really common that if a student is already receiving mental health services in the community, they will continue working with that provider, but then use us as a secondary level of care, just because we're familiar with kind of the ins and outs of the college, as well as being mental health clinicians. We also do a lot of resource management for students, and honestly, that's been a part of our work here that's really kicked up over the past year. So it might be helping you get set up with case management or childcare network services or housing services, or finding healthcare services for members of your family. So we really do provide a full service model here. We work with students during the 11-week term, as well as the break in between terms, minus the winter break when we're closed for the New Year's and Christmas holidays. And all of our services continue until you leave the college, and we help you get set up with care afterwards. For those of you that are interested in working with us, what Kim just showed you as far as our Blackboard page, when you click that student services button, you will find myself, Caitlin, the Learning Center, as well as the Director of the Center for Equity and Multicultural Affairs that I'm going to go over in a second. You'll find all of our contact information, how to schedule right there. And this is really something that I encourage students to take advantage of, because you're purposely signing up for a educational path that's going to challenge you, and sometimes you need support with those challenges. So to shift gears to talk about a different level of support, I want to talk with you a little bit about what academic accommodations look like at the college. So I am going to share my screen because Megan asked that I do so, and let me. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to keep talking until someone says you can't see it. So academic accommodations at Central Penn College follow federal guidelines. So for any of you that might have had what's called an IEP, an individualized education plan, or a 504 plan, which is a type of plan in the education system in Pennsylvania that has to do with behavior management, you likely qualify for academic accommodations. So in order to qualify for academic accommodations, the process at the collegiate level is actually the exact opposite of what it is at the secondary level. So at the secondary level, once an IEP or a 504 plan is created, it follows the student until they graduate from high school without them really having to do anything. It lives within the school district. That is not what happens when you are going to college. So in college, the process for accommodations has to be initiated by the student. So what basically that entails is you sharing any of the existing documentation with Megan, and you can see the email on the screen is just equity@centralpenn.edu. And she then looks at the documentation, reviews it with you, and starts the process of drawing up the accommodations and getting additional information if needed. The types of disabilities that might be covered, you can see on the screen, are any sort of physical disabilities. They can do with movement, with speech, visual. They can be psychological disabilities in terms of a diagnosis for something like post-traumatic stress disorder or depression or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They can be the result of a traumatic brain injury, either by virtue of a traumatic brain injury at birth or something that's acquired later in life, or the result of a diagnosed learning disability. So when you have that documentation, you'll find all of this on the Disability Support Services website, or again, if you go into Blackboard and click on Student Services and click on Academic Accommodations, you will find the Support Services application packet. You will be able to submit any formal diagnoses that you have from a medical professional, and you will be able to then look towards getting a letter. So when you get to the point of getting the accommodations letter, that letter is then written to you as the student, and you distribute it to your faculty as you see fit. Some people will use their accommodations in every single class at their college. Some people will only use it for certain types of classes. So if you need like a writing accommodation, or if you maybe need an accommodation for extended test taking. But basically the choice is up to the student about how to use it. The recommendation that Megan passes along every time we do an orientation presentation, and that I will freely share with you, is it is easier to start the process early, get the accommodations letter, and choose not to use it than it is to realize like, oh man, I really need this. It's week 9, I haven't started this process. So for those of you that any of what I'm sharing, or you recognize any of the terminology that's on the screen, I would strongly advocate for you to reach out to Megan as soon as possible, so that way you could potentially have everything ready to roll in the earlier part of the term. The other office that Megan oversees is our Office of Title IX Services. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So Title IX is a federal education law that protects students at any education institution that accepts federal funding against discrimination on the basis of sex. So this can take shape in a lot of different ways. It could be you experience something in the form of a sexual assault while you're a student here, harassment. It could be related to your status as a parent, if you are pregnant or you become pregnant, or for any of you in relationships, if your partner becomes pregnant. And basically what Title IX law does is it prevents you from experiencing any sort of discrimination as a result of these external factors. My hope is that this is not anything that any of you will have to experience, but in the event that it becomes something that is part of your story, then I would encourage you to reach out to Megan. And again, it's just that equity@centralpenn.edu. I saw a question in the chat. So yeah, so if any of you as continuing education students maybe haven't been students in a number of years, if you yourself don't have the documentation, that's okay. Megan actually will work with you on reaching out to past school districts to help procure the documentation. The other piece of this is that if any of you maybe did not have an IEP or a 504 plan in school, but you maybe are questioning, maybe I would benefit from academic accommodations, we have an assessor that works with the college to get people assessed and see if they meet a diagnosis, and Megan can help you out with that as well. So for the person that asked that question, I would encourage you to reach out to equity@centralpenn.edu and share this with Megan, and she could help get you set up. Oh, and Lisa just put all the information in the chat. Thank you so much, Lisa. And yeah, I'm gonna hang out. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. And thank you so much for your attention. And I look forward to meeting some of you. And again, welcome. As someone that's in school during COVID, you can do it.
Thank you, Tom. All right, and last but not least, we have our Dean of Career Services, Steve Hassinger.
Thank you, Lisa. And as everybody else said, I'm going to say welcome, but I'm also going to say welcome back, because I was excited to scroll through the pictures and the list of people and see some familiars. I've been at Central Penn for 18 and a half years. So I've already seen some of you when you got your first degree or your second degree. You might be back for your second or third. So that's exciting to me. Career Services is about anything that has to do with your career advancement. Okay, so I would love to hear from you and know what your goals are. I find with our continuing ed students that they come typically with some very specific goals in mind. They're here with a purpose. So I'd love to know your why. And you can reach out to us at careerservices@centralpenn.edu. That will go to myself. It will also go to our partner, Julie McGill, and it will go to our internship coordinator, Kristen Fike. Now, since many of you are continuing ed students, maybe you're not going to be doing an internship. However, if you are in an associate degree or a bachelor degree program and you are looking to change careers, get started in a new career, or if you've been out of the workforce for a period of time and you're looking to get back into the workforce, I would strongly consider doing an internship when the time is right. So if you think that might be an option for you, I would encourage you to reach out to us and we can talk about those kind of options as well. Our hours are 8 to 5, typically Monday through Friday. However, I want you as continuing ed students to know that we make ourselves available to you when you need us, within reason. But if you need to meet with us at 6:30 at night after you get home from work, let us know. Instead of saying, well, we're going to be in Tuesday nights until 7, that's our late night. If you can't be available on Tuesday night, that doesn't help you. So instead of saying that, we kind of work with you on your schedule. We provide individualized assistance to our students. So again, let us know what your needs are, how we can help you. Maybe you're changing careers and you don't know how to take that resume that you had from 5 or 10 years ago and revamp it and make it competitive for the job that you're getting into now. Or maybe as I said, you're getting back into the workforce and you're concerned because you have a gap in your work history. How do we deal with that? Okay. Also, I want to let you know that Career Services can provide mock interviewing. One of the things that we've been doing, particularly with some of our CE students lately, is Zoom interviews like this. We find that, they've had experience interviewing, but now all of a sudden, due to COVID, they've got to prepare for a Zoom interview. And they're like, I don't even know, how I should be preparing, what I should be. We've been doing a lot of practice Zoom interviews. We have a tool that's our online career center that has portfolio tools available to you. Some of you who are going to do a capstone are going to use that for a portfolio. You can have your own website if you want. You don't need to know HTML or anything like that. And you can do your own website. So there's a lot of different tools, but again, we try to personalize our services to what your needs are, because I know with a group like this tonight that you are at all different places in your careers and in your education. And yes, Nicole, I saw that chat pop up and I was wondering if that was Nicole. So I was excited to see you. I also see Joe in there, who was a student about the same time you were. So it's great to see some of you back. So I'd love to catch up. If you don't have any questions for career services, but you just want to catch up, I'd love to hear from you as well. So let us know how we can help you. The final thing I want you to know about career services is that we are available to you beyond graduation as well. Okay, you always have access to career services. I've worked with some of you as alumni. Yes, I just got an email from Mary before I left the office today. Okay, so I would love to work with you as alumni. I would love to work with you while you're students, but you always have access to our services well beyond graduation as well. In the 18 and a half years that I've been here, I've worked with people who have graduated as far back as 1969. So we're here for you whenever you need us. Let us know how we can help you. And if you can't remember who I am or you can't remember my email address, again, careerservices@centralpenn.edu, which I'll put in the chat, will come to all of us and the appropriate one will respond to you. So welcome and welcome back. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Steve. All right, thank you to everybody that was on our Student Services panel. You answered a lot of questions. I'm sure that was on everybody's mind, so we appreciate you. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to go into some Q&A. I did see quite a few questions pop up while we were presenting. So one of the first questions I'm actually going to direct to Caitlin. Will the library be open for walk-ins when we're on campus?
Yes, the library is absolutely open and excited to work with you. So I'm not going to tell you the hours because I'm not sure I'm going to get them right off the bat. If anyone does, please unmute and go ahead and put them in. But yes, but the library has hours. You don't need to make an appointment. Just go on in and they're happy to help you.
Right. And Caitlin, I got one more for you about getting a math tutor. Could I get one in advance, even though I'm not taking math my first class?
Absolutely. So if you are just trying to think about, what's going to be available to you before you take a math class, or maybe you're getting ready for that placement test, or maybe you pass the placement test, but you just really want to brush up and make sure you're ready before you get into the college algebra class or statistics, reach out to the Learning Center. You can use that online booking link on my.centralpenn.edu, or you can email learningcenter@centralpenn.edu, and Megan or one of her tutors would be happy to connect with you.
Right, thank you, Caitlin. Also, another good resource would be the Math Bootcamp that Caitlin spoke about. So you should be getting information on that in your email as well. The next question would be for Karen. When will we actually begin our classwork?
Great question. Next week is the week, right? If you're in an online class, you can start next Monday. Your courses will open up with coursework there for you. If you look at your schedule and you find out you're attending a class on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 o'clock, that's when you'll start your work at that first class. Or the evening class next week, whatever night your evening class is on. But next week is the first week of classes and you get to start your work then, and we're so excited for you.
All right, Karen and Caitlin, either one of you can probably answer this one. I just saw it pop up, but it goes along with when our classes begin. But will online classes be held strictly on Blackboard or mixed in with Zoom?
I can answer that one. Blackboard is our learning management system. So all of our courses will be on Blackboard. There is a component through Blackboard for a face-to-face meeting, and that will be through Teams. But you don't even have to know that. It's going to be integrated in the Blackboard system. So Blackboard will be your platform for all online classes.
All right. Caitlin, the question was, can I have the same advisor as I did previously?
If you would like to request a specific advisor, please email me and I'd be happy to do whatever I can to make that happen. So you can email me at advisingcenter@centralpenn.edu so you don't have to remember how to spell my name.
All right, and John and Krista, we have a financial aid question. Can I use my financial aid to buy a laptop?
You absolutely can, providing that you have a refund. John or myself are happy to go over that information. It's through a third party called Marco Technology. It's a laptop voucher. We can send you an email with specific information. You would work with us in the student accounts office and the financial aid office to request the voucher, request the amount for the voucher, and all that other information. Yeah, just reach out to John or I, whoever your financial aid counselor is.
All right, thank you. All right, and Kim, I believe this one would be for you. During your presentation, it was, I can see my course is listed. However, there's no description, professor, syllabus, or announcements. So maybe Kim, Karen, or Caitlin.
Yeah, if that's not in there, it may just be an oversight from your professor at this point. You should be able to click on email over there on the left, and you can contact your professor without even knowing their email address. If you click on email on the Blackboard menu on the left-hand side in your course, and just say that you want to email instructor, and you can contact them that way and just see, you know, when they'll have that posted for you.
I'm also just going to add, when you see the name of your course, you actually have to click on that name of that course to open up the course. So sometimes students think once they see it, that all the information should just be there, but you actually have to click on the name of the course to go inside of the course.
Yes, and yet another information for, or another reason for doing that Blackboard orientation course, because you learn all of that there.
Good plug, Kim. All right. Also, with the Central Penn app, so this might be if Steve Shoemaker is still on, I'm getting a timeout error and no, I can't see my email or courses.
So you're getting a timeout error on the app. Are you able to get into the app at all? See, this is going to be hard. When trying to sign in on, so you're going to the My Central Penn page. This is going to be hard to answer in a group forum. I really need to talk to the person, see what's going on.
Lauren, actually, I can put you in touch with Steve to answer that directly. Or when we do our breakout sessions here soon, Steve will be in a breakout room that you can pop in and talk to him about that. All right, and it looks like there was another one, Steve, that I don't know if this needs to be a one-on-one as well, but it won't let them sign in with my email, and I can't see my courses on the app specifically.
Okay, yeah, those sound like individual issues that I'd like to talk to them specifically about and walk through it with them.
Okay, no problem. All right. And I believe I caught up with all of the questions, but if you have any more, is there a process to obtain a student ID? Donnie, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, absolutely. We can get you a student ID. As of right now, you would contact security and provide a photo, and they would print out an ID. And then you can either consult with your admissions counselor to come in at a time where you can pick it up. Or as things, obviously get better, you can schedule at a time with your admissions counselor. They'll be happy to walk you over to security when they're doing them in person. So yes, you absolutely can. You just want to coordinate with your counselor.
Okay, thank you. All right, and it looks like another one that's having problems on the app with courses. So again, I'm gonna direct you to the breakout room here in a minute to talk to Steve, but I also wrote down your names that I can let him know to reach out to you directly as well after this. All right, any other questions right now? All